My name's Dana. I've been tattooing professionally for 38 years, 32 of those being in the Cincinnati area. I basically tattoo in all styles, and contemporary tattooing encompasses everything from tribal, Japanese, photorealism. But in the past several years, since I've kind of matured into tattooing, my interest lies in early American traditional symbolism, and that's what this slide's about. Actually, electric tattooing came to way in America right at the turn of the century. These are out of the 1920s, probably. Influence a lot of it of that new land, America. Spanish-American War, a lot of the stuff was done by hand, and we got the electric machine. The focal point of tattooing was in the Bowery in New York. A lot of seamen. This is Brooklyn Joe Lieber. While I avoided these designs early in my career, thinking I could really reinvent stuff, now I find the beauty in these just as folk art, and it's hard to improve on it. 1920 designs. You see a lot of these designs repeated throughout tattoo studios. They would go to one studio, do a rubbing off of an acetate stencil, ship it to another studio. So this snake lady's on several old sheets I have from the 20s. But then again, America, you know, a basic set of designs. This is by a leading English artist, tattooed in America in the 20s and 30s, Ben Corday. I have several of these images by other artists, but Ben Corday captured a really nice feel of that era. So I really try to copy his style a lot when I'm doing my own artwork now. As I said, my major was sculpture in college. I kind of got away from all this tattoo stuff that was too common to me. Now I embrace it. These are some new sheets I just bought from a guy named Furpo Falk. He looked like a Marine. I bought 7 of his sheets. They're from World War II. Some of them are Pearl Harbor, you know, USMC. I mean, really nice stuff. More early stuff. This is Furpo Falk again. This stuff, yeah, it turns up anywhere. This was out of an estate sale in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then of course I purchased it for a lot of money on eBay. You used to be able to buy tattoo designs for 35 bucks. Now you can pay thousands of dollars for an original sheet. People realize these were by early American folk artists, you know, be it folk artists or fine artists. A lot of the tattooers were not professionally trained, so they capture that beauty of naive art, which to me is really important in art. I mean, you know, it's more interesting to me now than professionally trained, so I try to unlearn everything and take a direct approach. Again, when you went in a tattoo shop in the old days, you were limited to basically what was on the wall. So he who had the better designs had the better shop. But most of the people got their designs from other artists, which was a handful that really created this stuff. Now you have all these airbrush illustrators and all in tattooing, it's just boom. These are by Bert Grimm, known to tattoo Bonnie and Clyde from St. Louis. Real famous, died in his 80s, tattooed up until his 70s, really prolific artist. I just purchased 60 or 50 of his sheets from the guy that had bought out his shop in St. Louis years ago after it burned. Another Bert Grimm design. These are really collectible in the world of tattooing. Again, love it or leave it, you know, America. It was pretty much one stream of thinking back then. You know, now we copy anything you can bring in. A tattooist is just a great plagiarist. A lot of them don't have an original idea, you know. Another Bert Grimm, a scary pirate if you want to scare people, and a lovely lady. Bert's style changed over the years. I saw some stuff he did in the 20s. These are from the 40s. I actually liked his 20s stuff well, and then in the 60s and 70s it really got simplified. But, you know, whatever. More Bert Grimm. I shot a lot of this stuff because it was new to me. As I said, we just acquired a large collection of it. I have a lot of this stuff displayed in my shop. Sideshow banners, any kind of that early Americana. I just purchased a swordfish bill that was decorated with tattoos in 1905. the early American piece. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys didn't sign this stuff. They didn't even think of it as art. You know, they're craftsmen and they're trying to make a living. But you know, it's just bold, simple. This tattooing really holds up well for the duration, as opposed to all the fine line, noodly-doodly art that we do today. This is Sailor Jerry from Honolulu, one of the most prolific tattoo artists of my time. This one has dart holes in it. It said Sailor Jerry threw darts at it. They have Sailor Jerry clothing, you know, like Ed Hardy's the big line. Ed Hardy's a contemporary tattoo artist, a friend of ours. The Sailor Jerry really did large-scale pieces. And I think we're back to Burt Grimm. You know, the eyes are too big. They kind of have big noses, but that's what makes them cool to me. I mean, I don't know. I have to trace a lot of this stuff. It's hard for my brain to draw it that way. But I'm trying to incorporate it in stuff I make now just for fun. You know, there's a lot to be said about just reproducing it. That's a piece I did in a vintage style. I found a vintage portrait of a woman, and the guy wanted a gypsy woman with 3 keys. So I kind of did that in the 1930s Vin Corday style, a little more pretty than a cartoon one. So I did that on a guy's leg that works for me. That's a box I painted for my son, the graffiti artist. He also tattoos with us. The Pharaoh's horses on the Bible, and just an early traditional thing. I collect so much antique stuff. I thought, well, gee, if I make it, it's going to be cool, or somebody can collect it, or my grandson can have it when I'm dead. So now I'm trying to really crank out a lot of original tattoo symbols that I avoided. That's a hammer I dremelled out of brass and a punch. I thought I'd make my own kind of prehistoric tattoo implement. Nobody's yet volunteered to let me punch him with it. I probably had about 50 hours Dremel tool in the head. It's totally tattooed, and that was just a brass punch that I dremeled out just for fun. So you have to stay busy. That's a box I made for my son also, based on an old Ben Corday design. And that one was a little tight. Now I'm trying to do them a little more gestural, like a sign painter, because I'm really influenced by sideshow banners. And it's just a real nice look, you know. The trouble with art schools, you start thinking how everybody's going to judge it, and you tighten up, and you can't be too spontaneous. That's the other side of the box that I decorated. And I'm not a sign painter, so that was fun learning to use brushes. And I don't know, it eats up hours of my day and keeps me out of trouble. That's me. Thank you.